Hi there, my name is Dick Leeksma, and I won the 1978 Finn Nationals at Aeolians Club. And I wish all of you that are taking part this year, and I'm very pleased to see that the Finn class is still so popular in South Africa. I wish you all the best. Age is catching up with me, I must be quite honest. The head is still fine, but the limbs and the back is not so good. Yeah, it's very, very much possible because I've done all sorts of sports all my life, and I've done what is it? How many years have I sailed? I had to stop sailing fins because my neck was just killing me, and you know what you have to do with your neck when you're sailing fins. So I had to give up. I was born in 1942, 36, 36. Well, no, I was born in Holland, and from the age of 10, I started sailing. In those days, there was no Optimist. There was the youth boat in Holland was called. It was a little two-man boat for youngsters. That's what I started sailing in. And then I went to the 12-foot Jolle, and I also crewed a few of the bigger boats, like the Dragon and the Regenboog. But then I went to England, and in England, I was in England for 5 years. I never sailed at all. When I arrived in South Africa in 1969, I happened to be on the same ship because we came out by ship to Cape Town. I happened to be on the same ship with an Irishman who used to sail 505s in Ireland. So when we both ended up in Johannesburg, so then we decided to purchase a Flying Dutchman together. And we sailed that together for a couple of years, but then he was a surgeon and he couldn't carry on doing the every weekend bit. So I bought him out and I got another guy to join me. Then we sailed for another couple of years and I started crewing in Flying Dutchman by a gentleman called Donald Ord. He is a very, very well-known South African gentleman who has also been chairman of the SARA, and he was a very, very good FD sailor. And I crewed for him for a while, and then in 1974, I joined his son as a crew on the Flying Dutchman, which is a Flying Dutchman that was owned in earlier days by Keith Musto, well-known name. And that boat was called Sailing a Lady in Waiting. We went to Weymouth in England in 1974. We took part in the FD Worlds. We just took part. We just took part. We didn't feature. Yeah. And then when I came back to South Africa, I decided to go on my own. And that's when I bought my first fin. And that must have been around about 1975, 1976. So I started sailing fins in 1976. I bought a Elstrom hull, number 443, and I noticed on your photograph that it was called Goose. I couldn't remember that. I did go to Lorenzo in the Flying Dutchman. It was the last regatta that was held in Lorenzo Marks, and Don and I went down. We actually won it, and I've still got the trophy here at home. Yeah. So I haven't sailed fins in Lorenzo Marks. I know Stuart did, but I didn't. Right. I sailed FD with Don Ord in 1972 in Lorenzo Marks. I didn't sail the fin yet. Yeah, it was a fiberglass boat. There were still a few wooden boats, some very competitive wooden boats still in those days. But a chap called Ross Robson, he had a wooden boat, I just managed to beat him because he was also a member of Aeolians Club. I know that was imported. That was imported, not by me, but I bought it second hand. Aeolians Club, Aeolians at Valdam. Yes, yes. I lived in Johannesburg. Correct. That's right. That's right. Yes, my home club, which was very special because I don't think anybody expected me to win. But I was a bit lucky, and I knew the course, and I knew the wind shifts and everything else. So I was a bit lucky. I never won a race, but I did win. I did win the regatta because I was never worse than sixth. I think. I think I might have had 2 seconds and a fourth and a fifth or a sixth. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I never got a first. I never got a first. Well, the photo that you're showing on your photos there, I stand next to a guy, and I think that's Alan Tucker. Barry Barber was still sailing in 72. I think he was always a competitor, and Ross Robson was a competitor. The younger guy that won later, I think Davis, yeah, Greg Davis, he was also there, yeah. And who was also there was Roy Heiner. That's right, yeah, yeah, but I think in that year, 78, he may have sailed in the laser there. I think it was only one before my title and two afterwards. I think the one afterwards was in Durban. I can't remember all those dates, but I think it was in Durban. It was the second one, and I also sailed at Saldana Bay. No, yeah, Saldana Bay, and also at in Cape Town, the bay in Cape Town, Camps Bay. I don't know. Anyway, there's a few of them. I've been to Cape Town. I've been to Saldana. I've been to Port Elizabeth. I've been to East London. I've been to Durban. Not all of them in a fin that I actually ranged against. I think that in my time that would have been what's his name? Ali Saraslev. Does that ring a bell? Ali Saraslev. Yeah, he's a bit younger than I. He's probably 10 years younger than I am. Really? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was very good sailor, especially in strong winds. That I would not know because I sold it soon after I won the nationals, and then I bought the Davis Spitzers. They were busy building boats, and I bought one of their bear hulls. The DP, the David Spitz. They're built in Johannesburg. The David Spitz brothers were two pilots, and they did this as a side thing. And I don't know how many they built. I think I bought the third or the fourth that they built. Oh, very good. He was Aeolian's member. Very well known. I know him very well. Not anymore, but he was a very good friend of mine. Yeah, and he was a very good fin sailor as well. Yes, he was there because I know because he was also a member at Aeolians, and we all knew where we went and so forth and so forth. So um, yeah, that's good. L. Yeah, that's 410. Yes, I remember it was 410. Yes, I do remember 410. And those days it was red, I think, red or orange. Oh, very well done. Well, no, it's a good boat. Very good boat. I don't know how it would compete against the modern hulls. I don't know. I don't know. My cell number was 443. The Elstrom hull was 443. 443507. 420. Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, you know more than I do at this moment. Yes, did have a 420, which was also a red boat. Yes. And then I got the Elstrom hull. And then it must have been 4. Then I've got the number all wrong. Then I never had a 443 probably. I know I had an Elstrom hull, but I can't remember the number now. I thought it was 443, 442 or 420. I've always had in my mind that I had 443, but it goes a long way back, and I don't have any records. Not really, because I was actually heavily involved in that myself. Because I was not running I was actually normally out running the regattas at Aeolians, but that one I sailed myself. So it could have been Alan Tucker or somebody else, or Alan Tucker's father that could have been running it, or Don Ort could have been running it. I'm not too sure. I remember the Stewart winning that, and I don't know where I came. Can't remember. Not very well. No, not on the podium. No, not in Durban. That wasn't my kind of kind of sailing. Thank you for finding me.